Hey folks, it's April 23rd, 2025, and you've probably seen it all over social media and in the news. Apparently, this business CEO is suing Uber because back in April, he got his butt kicked and he knocked out after he got into a verbal argument with a Uber driver. My name is John. I'm a retired police officer, an Army veteran, and a certified crisis intervention specialist. And we're going to talk about some basic, effective conflict de-escalation concepts, tips, and techniques. So back in April 2025, the CEO with his animal, a potential service animal, he claims it's a service animal. It could have been just a emotional support animal, but he's with the dog. He orders up an Uber. Uber arrives, and the Uber driver tells him, I can't take the dog. His explanation is that he's allergic to the dog. Somehow this became a verbal argument, and I found this video, and it's every other video that I found of this incident really picks up as the Uber driver approaches and knocks out the CEO. But I found a little bit more on the New York Post. They posted a video, and I'll have a link to it down below. But there was a moment when the Uber driver had his back to the CEO and he was walking away. He's walking to the driver's door. He's going to leave. The CEO is just standing back there with his dog. This situation is beginning to de-escalate at that moment. But this is what happens when you become offended, frustrated, impatient, and feel like you have to win, have to have the last word, have to get a word in edgewise. Because you can tell by the body language of the CEO and his head posture and all that, that he's still running at the mouth. And just as the CEO feels that he's had his say, had the last word, he begins to turn around to walk away. But at that moment, the Uber driver turns around because he's offended, impatient, and frustrated. And now he feels he has to have the last word. Pride and ego, more often than not, and this irrational need to win, to have the last word, to get a word in edgewise, is more likely than not going to escalate a situation. And sure enough, even as the CEO is walking away, the Uber driver is turned around, rapidly closes in on the CEO who stands there. He doesn't do anything to protect himself, and the Uber driver headbutts him and hits him once in the jaw. The CEO drops like a sack of potatoes, and the Uber driver drives away. That absolutely could have avoided this whole situation. We're going to talk about some basic conflict de-escalation tips, techniques, and concepts, and then we're going to talk about some basic self-protection strategies and tactics. Number one, let's start with the Uber driver. So there you are driving along. You're on your way to pick up a customer, a client, and oops, they have an animal with them. You are still driving your personal vehicle. You're a private operator. The driver in this case says that he has an allergy towards animals. You have an allergy toward these animals. There is no law, rule, regulation, or policy that says that you will, you shall, you must risk your life to give someone a ride. But here's the thing, you don't have to be a jerk about it when you tell this client, hey, sir or ma'am, I'm really sorry, but I can't take your animal. Yes, I understand it's a service animal, but I'm allergic to the animal. I'm sorry. And hey, I'm losing money on this also. It's not like I'm just, trying to be a jerk. I'm sorry. I can't take your animal. And that's it. Agree to disagree, and just drive away. You don't have to be a jerk about it. You sure as hell don't need to get into an argument as if you're trying to convince this person that, hey, I'm not going to take your animal, and I want to hear you acknowledge and accept why I'm not going to take you and your animal. Just here are the boundaries, here's the rules and policies. In my personal vehicle, I can't take you. I'm sorry. And I'm losing money on this, so it's not like I'm trying to be a jerk. That's how the Uber driver could have handled it. CEO, let's say you're the CEO, you're waiting for your Uber, and for some reason the driver can't take you. In this case, it's because you have an animal with you. It doesn't matter if it's a service animal. If this person cannot, will not, or should not take you because of an allergy or pre-existing medical condition, who the hell are you to insist that they risk sometimes give you a ride? Okay, get another one. Well, I'm going to be late now. Well, welcome to life. Sometimes nothing goes together as planned. But this absolutely did not have to end up with two men outside of the vehicle yelling and cussing and swearing and talking smack to the point where a CEO gets himself knocked out and now suffering, according to him, suffering from potential long-term medical problems. Just walk away. Let's talk about some personal safety protection tactics and techniques. This situation highlights why it's so critical that you do not let an angry, agitated, stressed out person in crisis get inside of arm's reach of you. Maintain what's called a reactionary gap. And by the way, there's not a single self-defense class that does not teach this one very simple self-defense technique. Ready? You ready? Bring your hands up. Just bring your hands up, waist level, chest level, because you can have your hands in the game if necessary to push off and hold off or block and deflect any type of strike or assault on your person. But if you watch that video, you see the Uber driver get right up on the CEO nose to nose, and then he headbutts the CEO and then follows up with a quick right hook. That would not have worked out that way if the CEO had maintained a reactionary gap, because in the time it took for that right hook to come around, the CEO's brain would have had a millionth of an extra second to process, yup, that right hook is coming. Do I zig to the right or zag to the left? Yes, you're going to have to drop your dog to defend yourself, but that's a whole different rabbit hole. Some people are going to hold on to the dog and get hit. Okay, so be it. But the point is, maintaining a reactionary gap. Do not let an angry, loud, rude, obnoxious person get inside your space, because when it goes bad, if it goes bad, it goes bad very quickly, way too fast for you to have a proper, appropriate, safe response when they're inside that reactionary gap. Folks, slow down, take a deep breath. Don't take things personally. If you can't give someone a ride, or you can't help someone, or whatever, you don't have to be a jerk about it. You don't have to be snotty about it. Hey, I can't take your damn dog or anything like that. You don't have to be rude. You can still be professional and still maintain self-discipline, your own decorum, your professionalism, your own dignity, and lay the boundaries out. And hey, this is your car and your own health, all right? Again, there's no law, rule, or regulation that says that you shall risk your life and suffer an allergy attack and potentially die from anaphylactic shock just to give someone a ride. And number two, it doesn't matter if that's your service dog. If for some reason this person cannot help, you know, who are you to insist that they do and potentially risk their health for you? Get another driver. Get over yourself. Stop taking things personally. You want to leave them a 1-star review or nothing? Fine. Slow down, take a deep breath, assess the situation, and don't let someone who's loud, rude, and obnoxious get inside a reactionary gap, which is basically maximum arm's reach. When you have your hands out like this, you have a tactile and visual reference point as to the distance they are from you, and hopefully you are not within fist range. We'll catch you guys on the next video.